Great. Call is now being recorded. All right. So good evening once again, everybody. Thank you so much for deciding to share your evening with us. I mean, one of the greatest commodity that we have right now in our world is attention. So to get us started tonight, I want us to know that not money is not the only currency that we spend in this time and age. If you remember the acronym MIT, just type MIT. I'm giving you a very, very good start. Okay? Type meat in the chat, as in the meat we eat, MEAT. And I want to share with us something very, very critical by the time we start. If I don't see responses in the chat, I won't continue. Good job, Catherine. Good job. So yeah, if you hear the word meat simply means money, energy, attention, and time. Those are the four currencies that we spend. Yes, those are the four currencies that we spend as human beings. People feel that it's only money. But no, going forward, you then be, yes, Felix, thank you. Going forward, you then are able to be sure that, thank you so much, Beauty. Thank you. You make sure that you know how you then conserve, make, manage, and multiply your meat going forward. That is your money, your energy, your attention, and your time. So yes, we're going to kick off from brain to bank. For brain to bank, the three-step system for teaching others and getting paid repeatedly. Sayo, you want to do me a favor? Please, can you initiate a group call on the WhatsApp group? Yeah, that also works. Sometimes some people may have forgotten that they have a webinar, so it works every time. So you want to help to have that call so we can have other people join us. It usually work magic. Okay. So from brain to bank, okay, they are coming in. They're coming in their droves now. For brain to bank, the three-step system for teaching others what you know and getting paid repeatedly. Sincerely, this has been my personal story in the last 5 years, 2020 to be precise. So prior to COVID, I'd always had this, beautiful idea of being able to share my knowledge beyond my physical location. So I think sometimes in 2015, that was when I started hosting trainings, spread trainings on WhatsApp. But the way WhatsApp was then, most of the people you have are still within your client. And there's just this tendency that it's still usually, it's a bit closed, circuited. And I just knew that the future of learning was, the future was just the knowledge economy. For some reasons, I just knew intuitively. And then fast forward in 2020, when COVID struck, I'd been procrastinating on having my knowledge out there as I really wanted to. But when 2020 now struck, it was like everything just blew open. And I'm sure that's the same for all of us. So most of us then, we were on Zoom meetings and all sorts. So that was a little bit of history of how I also got started. However, I'll be sharing more with us tonight. Okay, so just before we get started, it's important you meet your hosts. I'm going to introduce myself, and at some point, I would hand over to Bisaya to introduce herself. But I am Dr. Toyin Samemehelu, and I'm a visionary education, leadership, mentoring, and coaching and business consultant with 30 plus years of transformative impact. I actually founded and I'm the executive consultant at Core Skills Transformational Academy Limited. And as at the middle of this year, this number has increased now, but as at June this year, I've empowered over 60,000 individuals, mentored about 1,000 plus leaders, and transformed 80 organizations and communities. Over the years, I've been able to consult for clients and organizations in the Republic of Benin, Kenya, Canada, US, Ivory Coast, and Ghana. I'm a prolific author of 28 books, 15 online courses, and a multiple award-winning mentor and coach. In fact, that comes in troves. Then I've been able to blend my academic excellence, having my PhD in educational management and planning from Prowess University in the US, with hands-on strategies to drive dynamic change in Africa's education landscape. I'm a devoted wife, a mother, and an advocate of women leadership. So yes, let me see the emojis. Please celebrate me. It's not easy now. It's easy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Bisayo, I'm going to hand over to you to introduce yourself now. You have the floor.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Toying. It's always a delight facilitating with you. So, I am Bisayo Adewale, and I am a learning and development specialist. I founded LXD by Bisayo. It's a hub for the learning and development of anyone in education, anyone interested in being a talent in education, especially the young ones, those fresh from school, or those that are just starting out in the teaching profession. I moved from being a primary school teacher earning 40,000 naira to earning almost times 10 of that, as a learning and development specialist. And it started by turning my brain into my bank. My first attempt at doing that was training the student teachers that were assigned to me when I moved from a primary school to a junior school, and training them. They wanted something that, even when they leave the school, they will still be learning from it. And I found myself doing a self-paced course for them. That self-paced course became my entry ticket into doing the same for organizations, individuals, and I started getting paid way beyond my imagination. And I have not looked back since then. I have trained over 120 professionals, even those in the field of human resource, those that are not even in education. I've coached quite a number of teachers who want to combine instructional design with classroom teaching. And I have worked for several organizations, helping them set up their um, trainings, converting their subject matter into scalable courses. And yeah, I'm currently the convener, or I am the convener of the African Education Career Fair. I don't know if anyone here has heard about it already, but of its kind, and it's gathering teachers from over 6 African countries, where we'll be exploring different career paths for teachers, showing them that there are other options apart from classroom teaching, even with an education degree. I am excited to be here. I'm excited to share how my journey my journey from turning my brain into a bank has led me to this point, and I'd love to carry as many people as long as possible. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So they are giving you your flowers in the chat. You can see all the emojis coming up. Well done, and thank you, everyone. So, well, my objective, my promise is very simple, that, by the time we're wrapping up this webinar, you will have a clear 3-step blueprint to turn what is in your head into structured, sellable products. Who is excited about that? I know most of us, we have it in our heads. Type me. You see that it's not even much. It's very, very, just a 3-step blueprint. Is no stories, straight to the point, right? Because we have so many things in our heads, but That's why Bisayo and I are here to provide us with that support. Okay, so there's no long story in tonight's webinar. So why does this matter? Do you have valuable knowledge but no idea how to structure it? So a lot of us have so many things running on our head, but we don't know how to structure it. Are we tired of trading time for money in one-on-one work? So quite a number of us, I mean, we find ourselves, if we are not physically working, the tons of money will not come in. I remember that sometimes something very beautiful happened to me, I think about two weeks ago. So one of my mentees just woke up from nowhere and then said, "Oh, Dr. Sonia, I'd like to get all your ebooks." I didn't even know I had so much money in my in my archive. So I just sent him the link, the way we just sent him a link that, okay, all the ebooks are, you can access them through this link. And guess what? By the time he did all the calculation and everything, it was about 200,000 naira. Now, even me, I was surprised that, oh, wow, really? Dr. Tony, you have done well. So, I mean, that day, it was a Monday. How did you think I felt? Please type in the chats. How did you think I felt that day? Type in the chats now. Type in the chats. It was on a Monday that thing happened to me. If it were you, how would you have felt? Okay, let me change the question. Like, this is going to be a really good week. Catherine, you can say that again. Blessed, Amidat. Amidalat, yeah. But Abiti said, great. Even me, I was like, whoa, girl. Is that not the way they say it now, the Gen Zs? Girl. The guys will say, girl. Ladies will say, girl. Yes. And then, of course, the overwhelmed by tech, videos, platform payments, you are not alone. Today, we're going to be working around to solve this. All right? Good. Yes. Good. So the first step is the blueprint. You need to be clear about the what. You need to be clear about the what, and that's where the conceptualization comes in, where you need to organize your brain, because that's really the goal. The truth is, everybody has knowledge, but it's in raw form. Happy, Felix said happy. Everyone has knowledge, but it's such in a raw form, and it's often messy, scattered, and unstructured. If this describes what is going on right now with you, type me in the chat. You have knowledge, but they are just scattered everywhere. They are raw, they are messy, they're unstructured. And you're like, I mean, I don't really have this time to sit down to do all of this. Abdallah said me. Okay, so I think somebody's mic is unmuted. You may want to mute.
Mic is unmuted. You may want to mute.
Okay, I've sorted that out. So that's the truth. But think of your brain like a bank vault full of gold coins, valuable but jumbled. The truth is, without order, your knowledge feels overwhelming to both you and your students, whoever should profit from it. Now, the blueprint process is about sorting and packaging that knowledge so someone else can, number one, understand, number two, follow, and number three, get results. Okay? Now, what's obvious to you is gold to someone else. I want that to sink in. What is obvious to you is gold to someone else. Have you said something at any point in time and the person was like, wow, and you're like, What is wow about what I just said? Do I have a witness in the house? Please give me emoji. A thumbs up. Yeah, I want to see the thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, Banky. Yeah. Amidalat. Yeah, Catherine. And someone says, wow. And you're like, wow, wow. What did I just say? Is it not normal? Yes, almost, in fact, virtually everybody. But if it's not organized, then unfortunately, the treasure can't be accessed. And that's the unfortunate thing that is also happening to us as a nation, as Nigerians. We have the crude oil, but we have it scattered, not refined. We have it messy. We have it unstructured. We have it everywhere. Yeah. So until we are able to put it together, we will now send it to people that will put it together. They will now send it back to us in a more expensive way. Can't you see? And we are the one that has the right, this life, God no go shame us. Okay? So very simple. What's the action tool you need to be able to carry out? You need to be able to do core mapping. And this applies to anything whatsoever, which is a simple framework for you to extract and sort your expertise. Now, the first activity I want you to do is write down all the skills that you believe that you have that people can learn from. I happen to have become a serial entrepreneur in the last few years. And one of the things that has really, really been of huge and massive benefit to me is the Ikigai. I'm sure most of us have heard about the Ikigai, that shows what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for. Has anybody heard about the Ikigai? So that talks about your passion, your mission, your profession, and your fantastic, okay? Very good metaphor, okay? An expert with knowledge that is not monetized is like Nigeria with crude oil. So yeah, that's the truth. So your passion, your mission, your profession, and your vocation, okay? So those 4 areas, you can start with those 4 areas. So for me, my passion is teaching, my mission is leadership, my vocation is mentoring and coaching, and my profession is a bit tied to my passion. But what I then added to it is my ability to sell. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. I can sell. Some people say I should not be saying that in again. Okay, I'll stop saying it. And that has helped me to have so many businesses that I'm able to earn commission from. That has helped me to also being able to even venture a bit to being a realtor. Yes, I sell land though, people, if you want to buy. I'm just like, don't do this one. Please, if you laughed, just laugh with your emoji. Let me be sure that you're laughing at me very well. But that is just how much it's important for you to be able to extract. Okay, we're talking about extracting and sorting your expertise. So your skills, your steps, and then of course, insights within your subject area or even outside your subject area. So some things are not just learned, some things are caught. So you want to ask yourself, what do I know that others don't? What do people constantly ask me for? Ask me for help with. What steps do I take automatically that a beginner will need guidance on? So, for example, I have somebody on this call and she was able to organize, she ideated on how some of us could get a mid-year vacation. And that vacation was so superb. I enjoyed myself. For those that follow me on social media, they were like, Dr. Toye, did you go to Miami? And I was like, yes, Miami, Nigeria. I mean, everything happened under a very short period of time. And I'm like, whoa, this is gold. Okay. Do you know that, she's listening to me and she knows I'm talking to her. But I'm talking to her that experience alone can be packaged and can be sold. sincerely. So what's the action step? You want to take a sheet of paper or a Google Doc or a Word document, whatever it is, list at least 10 to 15 core skills or knowledge points you have. This becomes your raw material for the course. Now, there's a link that I would share with those that will be signing up later, because the truth is, yes, we have a tailor-made program to provide guidance and support where you can actually identify your top skills. Okay, I'll be sharing that with those set of people. So um I still ran the test this week, and I was so happy about what I saw. All right, so identify the transformation, the before and after. So courses aren't just about information, they are transformation. You want to ask, what problem does my course solve? Where are my students now and where will they be after? So you frame it very simple, before and after. All of us, we've seen things like that happens on social media. At least see for anything, our makeup people, they've done very good with that. So before, maybe you got somebody that was confused about social media, and after, they are very confident and they post daily with a clear plan. All right, so that could be the strategy that you want to use. So for the first thing I said again is that you need to organize your brain structure, the messy, the scattered, everything, provide a blueprint. Number two, core skill mapping. You want to ask and extract a framework you want to create a simple framework to extract and sort your expertise. Number three, you want to identify the transformation, which is the before and the after. And then number four, you want to then create them into like modules or major milestones. So of course, there's usually a big building block, and then you then break it down. What 3 to 5 things must a student master to reach this transformation? So for example, let's say you're teaching something around public speaking. You want to think, okay, yes, the student must have the right mindset that they could speak. They must develop their confidence, because when you're standing in front of people, whether physically or virtually, your confidence is palpable. You want to say, okay, they need to craft their speech. How do they craft their speech? There has to be an introduction, there has to be a middle, there has to be a conclusion. Then, of course, their voice and delivery. So the voice should not be monotone. For example, you will realize that I always modulate my voice. I'm speaking loudly, I'm speaking quietly, and then of course it's quite animated, okay? And then of course, how do they handle audience? Because sometimes you're going to have some audience that they're not just interested in listening to you. So that's just like a little modular or pillar that you can use to actually design your blueprint. Then of course, you can also then begin to break those modules into smaller steps, which we call lessons. Lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what do you do with your lesson basically are like the smaller steps that will now accrue to become the bigger modules, right? Then the next thing is that we've discussed about the what. The next thing you want to discuss about the how. So a course is a journey, not an info dump. I mean, people can get information everywhere and everywhere. But the truth is, the bridge, you must be able to help people bridge the gap between the what and the why, which is the how. I was listening to Bisaya this morning. I'm sure she'll be surprised. Yes, I was listening to you. And there's something profound that she mentioned about when you are about to design a course for transformation or intervention. Besides, why are you opening your mouth? Don't you expect me to listen to you? I told you are my mentor. Right? That you must do 3 things. Number 1, you must be able to use the 5 times, the 5 why techniques. That means asking why, getting to the root cause of what the problem really is. Number 2, she spoke about gap analysis. Gap analysis is how do you want to take people from the unknown or, to their destination. There has to be a route, which is also the bridge. And then, of course, she then mentioned about the fact that it is also very, very important that after you have discovered the root causes, you've had the gap analysis, and then you now have what is called the concept mapping. So you never want to map like the pathway to get there. So the bridge is you then look out for action-based lesson formula. That is, teach one concept, show an example, and then what exactly do you want the people to be able to do at the end of when you teach them that transformation. So why this works is that it prevents passive learning, and it helps to create the kind of results for your team. Now, the core has to do with the how, which is how then will you package everything and then launch it for profit. Now, the concept of the minimum viable course is very, very critical, because this kind of help to introduce your, how will I put it now? It kind of introduce your students to the most easiest way. Thank God, I was not even looking at my slide. The simple version that will help them deliver the results. Okay, it simply talks about, how you can create simple, workable version of whatever it is that you want to teach. You have to be very intentional about the core learning outcomes. What do you want them to be able to achieve at the end of the day? Okay, it has to be testable. With real learners, you must be able to allow to get feedback. So it's just like testing the waters. All right. And then it's also very important that you think about it. So it's like a draft that you are able to tweak, test, improve, and all of that. So as you are thinking about the how, the beautiful thing about the minimum viable course or the minimum viable product is rescues you from the disease called analysis paralysis. So you are then able to at least launch something to start. And you will be amazed at how people will be like, whoa, I don't actually know that this exists. So the truth is that your knowledge is your power. Your course is your legacy. That thing that you are teaching is your legacy. Now, one beautiful thing that I've loved that I've done with my life, my life like this, is that I've been able to penetrate into so many countries that on a normal day, I wouldn't have. I mean, I have not even stepped in physically. How did I penetrate? Last year alone, I was in Kenya, and participants from over 28 African countries bought my books. I don't know if you understand the implication of that. 28 participants from different African countries bought my books. In fact, my book sold out by the second day. Like, I was like, and I didn't want to carry too much overload because I didn't want to bring back any. And while I was in Kenya, people started buying soft copies. Like, people started buying soft copies. This is something, what we are about to share with you will help you to do. So you want to take action now and turn your brain into your bank. All right. So Bisaya is going to be sharing something with us, and now we're back to then take it on from there. So let me just have a little bit of break. I'll stop sharing, and I'm going to be handing over to my co-host, Bisaya. Bisaya, it is your time to shine on. Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I like that pause.
Thank
Give it
you.
to me, beauty. Give it to me. Over to you, Bisaya.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Toyin. Um, I hope you can hear me clearly because I just changed my device.
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay. So, Dr. Toyin has said almost everything. She has taught both marketing and the design aspect. So I'll just go a bit deeper, without overwhelming you with too much knowledge. So
Every everyone is a subject matter expert, right? Everyone, even the person selling pepper in the market, that pepper seller is a subject matter expert in selling pepper, right? So, and she transfers that knowledge to maybe our children or anyone with with her that is going to take over from her or something. She's a subject matter expert. The person doing t-shirts, the person that designs the t-shirts and brands them and all of that, that person is a subject matter expert. So everyone is a subject matter expert. Now, what differentiates you from the general pool of subject matter experts selling their knowledge is your understanding of instructional design. So it's just basically designing learning experiences instead of delivering just delivering content. When you see a lot of online courses today, I'm sure some of us have experienced some of these online courses, you realize that it's basically content delivery. That's why some of us would rather watch some YouTube videos or stay on somebody's page on Instagram or Facebook to learn something than buy some people's course, because it's basically content, just delivering content. But what sets you apart in turning your brain into a bank is when you are able to convert all those things in your brain, what you know that other people struggle with it, but for you it's just easy peasy. Then you need to sell that, except if God has told you to offer it as a living sacrifice, as a charity, except for that. But if that's not the case, then you should monetize it and put some value on it. So what sets you apart from every other subject matter expert is your ability to design learning experiences. And Dr. Tony touched on that a little bit when she mentioned that learning should be a journey. So take people on a journey. From the very beginning of a course, I can already tell if I will finish that course or if I will apply anything I learned in that course or not, especially when it is a course that was not assigned to me by my company. It's not a it's when it's a course that does not come with a particular certification that I need to maybe get a promotion or something. When it is a course that I just want to use it to acquire skills, which is most likely what your audience will be buying your knowledge or your expertise. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, so especially when it is something that um oh, my daughter just made me lose my line of thought. Sorry about that. What was I saying? I said one way you can set yourself apart is your understanding of instructional design, which is basically converting that content in your brain into a learning experience. It is from experiences that people learn. So when you are able to create an experience from every lesson, from one lesson to the other, you are creating experiences. And as people engage with that experience, they are learning. They will be back for more. They will naturally talk about how your content, like how your course or your training or your workshop has blessed them. So I know that we have been mentioning course, but that's not the only way to turn your brain into a bank. It does not always have to be an online course. This is a webinar. It's a learning experience. A workshop is a learning experience. Even what Dr. Tony described earlier, that somebody put together on this call, the vacation, it can be a form of learning experience. I think companies do this, like a retreat or something at the end of the year. They are all experiences. Then people learn from it. That's the whole idea of instructional design. And I just want to take you through the curriculum of the program that we have put together for you to help you, because it's very easy for us to say all of these things. And after this webinar, I mean, it's just a 1 hour webinar. After this webinar, it might be difficult for you to now put it into action, right? So I want to take you through the curriculum of what we have put together this call, so that you can follow it step by step. At the end of of this program we have put together, you will not just be able to convert your knowledge into a learning experience or learning experiences, depending on the different aspect of knowledge that you have. Like when Dr. Tony was talking about our Ikigai, I was just hearing different things: mentoring, coaching, teaching, and all of that. So that's different learning experiences. So depending on whatever content in your brain or expertise that you want to convert into a learning experience, you need guidance. You need this program to help you understand the idea behind creating experiences and not just delivering content. You're a fashion designer, you can sell what you know. I recently came across somebody that brands t-shirts. I recently came across someone that brands t-shirt, and the person was selling out fast. 5K t-shirt course. Brand your t-shirt at home. The person created it. Was a complete experience, because it was obvious that after taking the person's course, you get access to where you can get the equipment to buy it and put it in your house to start branding. The person also attached access to getting good quality t-shirts. So what else do you need? You have the course to teach you how to design and brand. You have access to the equipment that you need to start working on what you are learning. That is an experience. And it was selling out. Of course, it was sell out because it's an experience. It's not just content delivery. It's not just saying, hello, welcome to module 1, lesson 1. In this lesson, we are going to do this. At the end of this lesson, we are going to, everybody's doing that. Everybody's doing that. Even on Coursera, that's how it is. So why should anybody come to you to buy what your expertise, as great as it is, if you deliver it the way I just described? So this program is going to transform your understanding of selling that knowledge, that expertise that you have. My screen will come up in a bit. It's just hold on. Okay, it's coming up. All right, so let me share my screen. I just want to show you the breakdown. Okay, this is taking longer than I expected. Okay, so while my screen is coming up, have we thought about something that we want to monetize? Can we put it in the chat? If you have thought about it. Oh, somebody's already asking for the t-shirt guys content. Can you imagine? So even from saying it, you can already feel I even that means me I'm automatically selling for the person. The person is not a guy, it's a woman. I just saw it as an Instagram ad. Person was selling a t-shirt because I didn't even know that somebody could sell a t-shirt course, like how to design t-shirts online. Person was selling it on Seller, an online course, not webinar, online course. Everything had all the modules and the lessons outlined. So, if somebody that can design t-shirts can monetize like that, how much more you, where your skills are, what you know is highly valuable, especially in the job market. All right, it's up now. If you can just put in the chat something that you have thought of since you've joined this call that we have been talking about knowledge, expertise. Can you just put one word for something you want to sell? So for me, it's basically learning experience design. That's just it. That's what I'm all about. I'm going to put mine in the chat now. Learning experience design. That's what I am all about. That's what I will monetize. I realize that this is something people struggle with. People people do not know how to convert the regular content delivery into an experience. So they need me. So I will sell that expertise to them so that they can learn how to do it too. Or hire me to do it for them. Right? That's how I make my money. Okay. Share. Okay, can you see my screen? How about now? I think it's up now. Uh, okay, awesome, awesome. So this is what the curriculum looks like. Okay. First we set the stage. You'll be introduced to what instructional design is and what it means to market or monetize your product. And then you would learn the basics of learning science and brain science. Remember, we said you are where you should turn your brain into a bank. But there's brain science, there's learning science, understanding how people learn. That's basically it. When you understand how people learn, you would easily discover when somebody has a learning problem. And I'm not talking about special needs. So the moment you discover that somebody has a learning problem and you have already learned that, then just know that you have a market that will be willing to buy, right? Then we'll also learn about how to apply these principles, the science you have learned, you learn how to apply. Then for those that maybe this is beginning to sound interesting and you don't just want to sell your knowledge, you want to help other people convert their knowledge into experiences, just like I am doing. And you're beginning to think, okay, what if I add this to one of my roles or one of my ikigai, like Dr. Toyi mentioned? Maybe you want to add it to as a vocation or something. Then there's also a lesson that will show you the ecosystem of instructional design roles, who they are, what they do. Then you would learn how this is the major part. You see that content that you have, that t-shirt guy now, with that t-shirt lady rather, for instance. I can imagine as an instructional designer, I can imagine that person going through all this, but the person will not even know that that's what they did to be able to get that kind of conversion. I can imagine the person analyzing, these are the processes. Remember, Dr. Toyi mentioned the 5 whys, the gap. You will learn it. That's why we put 5 whys practice, gap analysis practice, action mapping practice. These are the things that you will do with the knowledge you have, you will not have to beg for testimonials. it will come naturally because people will see the result because you did your homework. You didn't just go to record yourself, or you didn't just go to create some PowerPoint slide and then you say you're selling a course or you're selling knowledge. This will take you through all the processes, the events. You remember Dr. Toyin said, I just almost called Dr. Toyin pastor now. I want to say Pastor Toyin. Remember Dr. Toyin said that the learning is a journey. In instructional design, there is a principle that sees learning as events. You will learn all the events. So if for instance the first event is gaining attention in this event of instruction, the first event is gaining attention. So in that t-shirt course, for instance, the first thing the person would do is to gain attention, is not to say, welcome to module one. In this module, this, that. At the end of this module, then when you get to lesson one, you now start with welcome to lesson one. In lesson one, in this time and age where attention is the currency, you need to gain attention. But you need to know how to do that. This will tell you all of that. It will teach you practically. It even has examples that, to show you how to apply it, right? Then it will also teach you how to develop the content so that you are not using a slide that the colors are at war with each other, the arrangement is messy, things like that. It will fix all of that for you. It will teach you all of that. Then it would show you how to use PowerPoint to create your content, your slide content. I know that there's a lot of AI now, AI doing this, AI doing that, but moderation is key. Moderation is key. AI can help you ideate, but when it comes to development, if you want to be intentional, when AI has ideated for you, you want to make sure that you know where you come in as a human to edit. And that's why all of these lessons are there for you to teach you how to edit the content. And now, when you are done, okay, another development tool that is taught in this program is articulate storyline. So this one, it will be very good for those that want to turn this into business. Like, you want to be able to sell you want to be able to help other experts convert their experiences. That's basically my 9 to 5 job. That's my current 9 to 5 job. Helping other people, companies, edtech companies, software companies. You want to help them convert their technical knowledge, general knowledge, compliance knowledge. You want to help them convert it into learning experiences using this articulate storyline. Almost every company hiring an instructional designer expects you to be able to use this tool. At least you should be able to walk around it. You should be comfortable around it to an extent. So this program also introduces you to that. That's if you are interested, right? Then when you are done, a lot of people only evaluate how much they have made. They don't evaluate the content itself, the experience that you have delivered. That is why you see that an online course will trend for a period of time, and after a while, nobody wants to buy it again. It gets outdated. The program will teach you how to keep evaluating. It will teach you how to calculate return on expectation, returns on investment, so that you can always update your learning experience, whether it's an online course, whether it's a workshop, whether it's a series of webinar, whether it's even a coaching session or a mentorship package that you have designed as an experience. It will teach you how to calculate your ROI. It will teach you the two models that you use to find out if learning is actually taking place, so that you find it easy to iterate. And then you will now explore the full marketing aspect of setting up a business out of instructional design or designing learning experiences. Remember, I said
for some of you that are listening to me now, by the time you start designing your own and you start enjoying it, you might you might become interested in helping other experts do the same for their content, because when you see the way other experts teach their content, it will start irritating you. You will start, why didn't this person start like this? Why didn't this? No, this person did not apply this analysis. This person did not do gap analysis. This person did not calculate, did not evaluate properly, because you have done it with your own expertise. You now want to start doing it for others and you want to make a business out of it. The program will also cover that. So it's a complete, robust program. And at this point, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Toyin to take over. I hope that I have done justice to my part of this webinar. Thank you very much. Doctor, are you there? Dr.
Yes,
Toyin, are you there?
yes, I'm here. I'm just trying to.
Okay.
I'm trying to turn off the sound on the other device. So you need to stop sharing.
Okay,
So
I'm going
that
to stop there. Okay.
all right. So far so good. I need to check the temperature in the room. What's it looking like? I can see the lights smiling and clapping. The light is ready for whoa. Look at that. All right. What's the temperature in the room like? I love to see the energy. I always love to see the energy to be sure that we are all on the same. Yep. One of the beautiful things I told Bisayo when we started this partnership was, I know quite a lot of us on this call are educators, and I told her, I said, I don't want us to build something for educators. I want us to, yes, educators can come in, it's quite right. I'm not beefing us, but I wanted us to build something for the layman out there, having them understand that, see, just like you saw in the advert, for those that saw the adverts, we are in the knowledge economy. There is nothing that that you cannot repackage. In fact, the reason why courses like this are essential is because there is knowledge everywhere, but wisdom is scarce. Wisdom is scarce. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, type yes in the knowledge is everywhere, but wisdom very, very scarce. Type yes if you agree with me in the content. Yeah. Very, very scarce. And sincerely, what the world needs, what our world needs, what you and I need is that specific, well-articulated, concise knowledge. So we have the Learn and Earn with instructional design put together by myself and Bisayo. Sincerely, because I took my time, when I said I was listening to Bisayo today, I took my time to watch the recording of the self-paced video. Sincerely, that course, Bisayo, what was that course is worth 150,000 naira. But I said, you know what? Yes, man, that was massive. And I was like, this is just level 1. Are you for real? So just like you said, you're going to be learning a lot around instructional design principles, visual design principles, e-learning projects, branding and marketing. That I'm the guru in that side. And it's a self-paced course. In fact, you could if you are very serious with it, you should be done within, let's say, a week. But the truth is, it's so standardized. I was literally blown away. She brought in the concept of educational psychology, curriculum development. It was robust. When I mean robust, it is. So there is the part, for my own part, where you'll be learning about understanding. She has been able to share what you'll be sharing in what you'll be getting in the course. But for my own part, you'll be learning about understanding how to monetize and develop the entrepreneurial mindset. Because we're not just teaching you about, okay, let me get another knowledge. How will I sell this knowledge? That is the bank that we are talking about to sell. If I'm making sense, type bank in the chat section. Bank, BANK. Yes, so bank. In fact, for last year alone, my ability to sell my knowledge in terms of books, I'm not talking about the one that actively took my time. I'm separating it now. Yes, bank. Thank you so much. Let's keep it coming. By the time I did my annual, checking through my annual, it was accruing to almost 6 million. Yeah, from my online courses, my books, hard copy, ebooks, because those are resources that wasn't taking my active hours. I don't know if you get my point. Like Bisaya was saying that 9 to 5 is helping other people create their courses. I was not actively sitting down like this, like, okay, I'm working. No. So there is a part for you to know. Most institutional designers designing courses will teach you how to design. Whether you sell, whether you don't sell, that one is not their business. But here, we're not just teaching you about how to design these courses. We're also teaching you about how you are going to sell the course, types of institutional products you can create. So you don't even have to wait till when you have a full course. I think in that video, I shared nothing less than almost 9 to 10, because this is the life I'm living. Like, that's just the truth. Then choosing the right format for your audience, because you need to also understand that well done, Felix. You need to also understand that while some people will prefer a particular format, others will prefer other formats. So depending on the kind of knowledge you want to, share and get paid for repeatedly, you then be able to do that. Now, the truth is that the results, we're talking about the transformation now. Remember what I said, that knowledge is everywhere, but wisdom is very scarce. So by the end of this program, if you sign up for the course, you won't just have a plan. You will have, you'll have launched, and then you will have started selling your course with students and profit, sincerely. Because the truth is that the limitations is that if after this webinar, you don't do anything about it, the framework is powerful, but you likely get structuring your modules. Instructional design principles, it's very important, but then teaching what you know and earning from it's very, very interesting. You may want to say, oh, I don't have time. How will I start? I feel quite overwhelmed. The beautiful thing is that we have it in bit-sized steps, and you can take it one after the other. And then the question may be, oh, what if no one buys? The beautiful thing is that this course is all encompassing. We are not just teaching you about how to design what you know and all of that, but you have the minimum viable product you can validate. And the beautiful thing is, like Bisayo has said, if you're like, okay, Bisayo, I just have the concept. Can you sit down and help me create these courses? We are here for you now, but it's a separate money you pay also. I like to brand and market maybe the courses I had before. You can also call us, but that one is consulting, by the way. So we'll help you rejuvenate and rearrange. Sai, are you here? Sai, why are you laughing? Oh, why are you laughing at me?
I'm here. That's what I do. If you feel like you don't have the time, just give me the raw content.
Exactly. But that one is consulting. So that one is not 60,000, because that one, you want to carry my head and Sayo's head together, to combine. So really, I mean, did we keep our promise? By the end of this webinar, you have a clear 3-step blueprint to turn what is in your head into a structured, sellable product. So as I was saying, what we have then done is, this course is in 3 levels, and the truth is we are giving out for it for just 60,000 naira. But however, Bisaya has pleaded with me that if you're signing up between now and 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, you can get it for 50,000 naira. Busaya, am I right? I hope I did not.
Yes, you're right.
So it's as simple as that. What we'll then do is Bisaya and I are admin on the WhatsApp group. If you're willing and ready, just reach out to any one of you, any one of us, and then we will get you started. So having said that, yippee, we kept to our time. We are wrapping up already. Do you have questions, comments? Was there a light bulb in your head? Haha! Can you see that guy? Ta-da! And then there's some form of changes you want to make, because sincerely, it's not just about you listening to us talk. This is what I have been doing in the past, since 2020. And sincerely, besides, we always say we just met physically. we've been partnered for almost 2 years. She would always claim that we just met physically a couple of weeks ago. But I mentioned to her that me, I met her, I was in the audience, I was in the congregation, she was on the high table. So me, I met her on the high table, and then I was like, oh wow, this is somebody that really knows what she's doing, and I would like to partner. So that's that about that. So if we have any questions, we are done with the live webinar. Then of course the replay will be available sometimes on or before Monday for those of us that will still want to ingest, and get to learn more about what we have just shared. Okay, so that's that about that. Anybody that wants to give us a comment? Did we try? I mean, we did not try. Was it worth your time? Okay, Felix is giving us a thumbs up. Okay, we have someone in the room, Jimo. Who else do we have in the room? Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. So that at least we can see ourselves very, very well. Where am I? Okay, let me just stop sharing. Okay, good. So I want to say a very big thank you to everyone for joining in. So Busayo, I think at this point, we will then get to hear from everybody later on. Any final words from you, Busayo, before I close out?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, thank you once again for being a part of the session tonight. And we get to see you some other time. Yeah, from time to time, we still have some other webinars that we'll share with you as time comes on. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of the webinar. Felix, do you want to say anything in closing? Then, yeah, Banketu is here. I like to hear your voice. So feel free to unmute if your background is not noisy. Okay. Banker, we like to say something to the house. Thank you.
Yes, please. This was beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yes.
To have shared your knowledge. I think I might even still come for in-person consultations. I which I'd mentioned, yeah, which I'd mentioned to you, because in fact, I think I'm currently in the process of packaging something that I, like you said, because one of the things you said that hit me is that there's some things that come natural to you. Yeah. And then when you say you're just having conversation and you realize that, do you guys mean you don't know this? So I started to understand that, maybe I have a little bit of insight in certain things. So we decided to package it for teenagers.
Amazing.
Yeah, so so I mean, like I said, I'll be coming for. All right, I'll be booking to see you.
Okay, it's not only me. Oh, you see this woman here, this Bisaya woman.
Yes, please.
So you yes, to see us. Yes, all right, please. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
There's another meeting link waiting for me. God is my muzzle tonight. Good night, everybody.
Amen. Good night. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. Stop recording.